makes her bid for a little piece of history.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of The Run of the Race. Just Mark Warwood with you this week. Brittany Taylor is up in Broome for the Broome Cup meeting. There was 9 races at Belmont on Saturday. Let's have a start by looking at the first one. It was the Go Racing 4-3 before the Rugby Maiden, and it was won by Stevie's Wonder.
Is A Millionite held together in front. No one was really prepared to take it up early, so A Millionite found itself there from Smug Noxious. Too Fat, Too Slow around them, continues to go forward 3 deep. Chosen Art strung up behind them near the rail. In between horses then Stevie's Wonder. Red Mill going around Diamond Trade coming into the bend, and Gold Veins there as well. At the 300 the grey Smug Noxious joined A Millionite. Too Fat, Too Slow. Down the outside here comes Diamond Trade, and looking for a run between horses then. At the head of the others Stevie's Wonder, Smug Noxious. Stevie's Wonder gets through. Too Fat, Too Slow. Diamond Trade's runs come to a halt. On the outside Too Fat, Too Slow. Stevie's Wonder. Stevie's Wonder. Too Fat, Too Slow. Stevie's Wonder.
Sean Casey was pretty pleased with the effort of Stevie's Wonder after the race, but according to Punting Form, his rating was only 2.4 lengths better than his first up run at Northern, in which he finished second. So he doesn't make the file. The horses that do, I am willing to forgive Cable Guy here. Was slow away, lost about a length there, was pretty green during the running, and did come home with the fastest last 2, 4, 6 and 800 metres from the rear. I'm forgetting Chosen Art, finished 10th, slowest sectionals, the 2, the 6, the 8, the 10 and the 12. And of the on-speed runners, he was the only one not to finish close up. And I am going to follow Too Fat, Too Slow. Now, this horse apparently has been named after Jeremy McGovern and what the Fremantle Docker said about the West Coast Eagles player and when they decided not to draft him. Too Fat, Too Slow was wide throughout, got a bump at the 200 metres, had the fastest last 1200 metre sectional of the race, blinkers first time. I think probably is the next winner to come out of this race. Race number 2 at Belmont on Saturday was the West Speed Platinum Maiden, and it was won by Neville Parnham's Lookout.
Nice bit of cover here in the middle stages. I'm pretty sneaking up near the inside in front of Fairtrusive. Second last is Lookout, and about 5 from the leader, which is doing it comfortably, and 3 lengths just in Noir. Into the straight now, 400 left to travel, and Tramontane headed for the judge. A length and a half to 2 clear, My Lady Fair. On the outside now, Zephyr Queen. What about Moses? I'm pretty having to switch back inside the heels of Tramontane, who's in real bother. What about Moses had reached the lead? What about Moses? Goes to the front from Zephyr Queen. Lookout is starting to run on with Fairtrusive. What about Moses? Pricked its ears up. Lookout charging down the outside. What about Moses in front and might have just fallen in?
Good performance that by Lookout. Fastest sectionals, was very well supported in the betting market as well. 650 into 460. And looking at Punting Form's numbers before the race, you can understand why the punters latched on. Doesn't make the file, however. Horses that do, I am going to forgive Tramontane. Came back lame in its near hind. Did lead what was a pretty fast tempo and still beat 2 gallopers home. Darren McAuliffe's a big rap on this horse. I'm not so sure myself, but certainly forgiving the run on Saturday. I am going to forget I'm Pretty, finished 5th, was held up until near the 200 metre pole, but his personal best of 1.5 certainly didn't merit being around the $5 or $6 mark in betting. I think I'm Pretty will go around too short next start as well. And I will follow What About Moses. Was first up off a trial win. Its only win has been over 1,500 metres. Its personal best rating was over 1,600 metres, so that was a very good performance on Saturday to finish second over the 13. Race number 3 at Belmont on Saturday was the Tap Touch Better Your Bet Plate, and we saw an interesting newcomer here in Massimo.
Keenly on the outside and pulling fairly hard in the early stages. 1.5 to Moama Rose, who's picked up some ground coming into the home corner. Further back behind it when they set sail at the 450 is Rubik Rose, Space Girl, and a long last is Babarucci. Into the straight by the 375 at War, levelled up on the outside of Amarillo Rose, and they go together. 1.5 lengths to Massimo, called upon from Dreamtime Diva. Moama Rose down near the inside. Rubik Rose running around like a drunken sailor. Ducked in behind them as At War hits the lead. At War in front now. Massimo starts to put his mind on the task. The big fellow Massimo reaches the lead, and Massimo lands the money on debut.
Well, the punters didn't miss Massimo. Opened at 4.20 top fluctuation into $2.90. This is the half of On Your Head, but appears to have a fair bit more ability than that Galloper. And for mine, he's the follow horse out of this race. Bumped about 400 metres from home, fastest last 200 metres to win on what was debut. And as I mentioned before, very, very well supported. I think this horse has got a bit of a future. A horse I'm willing to forget is Space Girl. Was only half a length off its personal best and still only managed to beat one Galloper home. And there's a few horses in this race you could probably sack. Space Girl, Rubik Rose and Bubarucci. They've all won races. I think they might struggle to win another one in town. And I am willing to forgive Moama Rose here. Was slow away, lost a couple of lengths there, made a really good mid-race effort from the 8 to the 6, and that effort really did tell in the latter stages of the race. With a better start, Moama Rose should run a bit better. Race number 4 at Belmont on Saturday was the Bernard Crouch Memorial Handicap over the sprint trip of 1,000 metres. And it was another good performance by Shinju.
Back there with Boz Taurus, and towards the tail end of the field, Imperial Venus at the 500 marker, coming onto the home corner. Classic Chant on the inside, held the front from Metro Boy, going up and testing it now on the point of the bend, a length and a half away behind the Makiko. 2 lengths Shinju ridden along. Murray the Bulldog on his inside, then Father Nick, Boz Taurus inside the 250. It's Metro Boy ranging up, getting his neck in front. From on the inside, Classic Chant. Here's Shinju starting to run on strongly at the 100. Shinju levels up to Metro Boy. He put paid to him now in a couple of strides, Shinju, and Shinju races home to win from probably a key.
Michael Gangemi has certainly got an eye for a bargain in these online auctions. Shinju was an expensive yearling, $650,000, but Michael picked up the horse for $100,000 in an auction not that long ago. I think the connections over East thought this horse wouldn't develop into a group class performer, but he certainly looks capable of winning a few races here in Perth. For me, he's the follow horse, fastest sectionals on Saturday, a new personal best by 2.2 lengths. And his progression really well. He's gone from 3rd to 2nd to now 1st in his 3 WA races. I think there's another win in Shinju, certainly not too far around the corner. I'm forgetting Muddy the Bulldog, now has the worst personal best of this entire field, came home with the 2nd slowest sectionals on Saturday, and he was off the speed all of the way. And I will forgive Denim Pack, was wide throughout, had the 3rd fastest last 200 metre sectional and had the best last time out figure going into this race. It was also a career best. I think the Denim Pack is a lot better than we saw on Saturday, and I'm always willing to forgive one bad run. Race number 5 at Belmont on Saturday was the Privé Fashion Platform Handicap over 1,200 metres, and the Fernies look to have a really good strong hand in it, including Little Fish.
3/4 Stable Secret, who's going to leave it hanging there for a while. Over on the outside, Little Fish running 3rd. No luck for Tracciato, parked out in the cheap seats. A length and a half to the well-back Turbo Power. Fairview trying to push up on its inside into the corner. Spillanova's trailing 4 deep around it. Now on the outside goes Sammy the Boss. Into the straight, Little Fish is the leader. A length and a half, Spirit and Fight. Tracciato sticks on well. I don't like Fairview. Here comes Sammy the Boss, winding up right down the middle though with its run at the 150, and Sammy the Boss ranges up, goes to Little Fish. Little Fish fights back, Sammy the Boss and Little Fish will go to it locked together. Little Fish fights back, it's Little Fish.
Well, the punters certainly respected the 2 Fernie horses in the race. They perhaps thought that Moshard was the better chance, but so it proved that Little Fish won first up. Probably is going towards the Hannans handicap, but Peter Fernie said after the race to Brittany Taylor that he thought the horse might be better suited over a shorter trip than the Hannans, but it is the big race in Kalgoorlie, and I think they will have a crack at it. Doesn't make the foal. Horses that do, I'm willing to forgive Spillanova here. Settles really towards the rear from what was a very wide gate. First up, good run, I thought, pretty luckless, finished 3rd. I think Spillanova will be winning, particularly if Jason Brown goes on and can get to the front. Forgetting Spirit and Fire led to a slow tempo before finding nothing. His best WA rating was his first run here of -0.7, which wasn't that good after all. And I'm willing to follow Sammy the Boss. Finished 2nd on Saturday, fastest last 4, 6, 8 and 1,000, including the fastest last 4 and 600 metres of the entire meeting. It was a new personal best by 1.7 lengths. I think Sammy the Boss has got a win coming soon. It's now time to take a little bit of a break on the run of the race. We'll be back with the Quaddy Leagues after some commercials.
Turning up for a picnic with chicken chunks? Ooh, orchies. turning up for a picnic on a horse. Delightful. Life's better with horses. See you at the races.
Welcome back to the run of the race. The first leg of the quaddie on Saturday was the John Martino 90th birthday handicap over 2,000 metres, probably a key race looking ahead to the Kalgoorlie Cup in a few weeks' time, and it was won by Spiritual Warrior.
Has had no luck at all, 3 and 4 deep in running. Here comes Inject the Venom. Paddy Shadow working into the race now in a bunching field on the corner. A length and a half back on the fence behind them. First Affair, Skin and Tins is next, being followed then by Gunna Go and Die Art. Royal Strata starting their runs right to the outside. Here comes Lenny going for a run back towards the inside and starting to pick off the runs coming its way at the 300. Paddy Shadow races up now, goes to a narrow lead with 200 left to go. Sticking on Nawadaroo, Spiritual Warrior. Paddy Shadow fighting back Spiritual Warrior. Spiritual Warrior, Paddy Shadow. Paddy Shadow, Spiritual Warrior. Spiritual Warrior fights back. Grand win. Great performance.
Spiritual Warrior paid $16 on Saturday, which was a very big price when you consider that according to Punting Form, he had the best 2-year personal best of the entire field. I know he'd been a little bit disappointed in the last couple of starts, but if you went back 5 starts ago, he had a really good figure of -7.2. I think he's the follow horse at this race. Bounced back to form. I think that personal best effort shows that he's got a fair bit of ability. And what was really good on Saturday was even though he was on speed, he still came home with the fastest last 200 metres under Paul Harvey. I'm willing to forget Inject the Venom. This horse won the Kalgoorlie Cup last year, but he's totally out of form at the moment. There's a fair few in this race you could probably sack. I will forgive Mr. Albie. Troy Turner came back and said that the horse raced in a flat manner. I think the run was too bad to be true. Has been in very good form. Forgive Mr. Albie for finishing 13th on Saturday. Race number 7 at Belmont on Saturday was the Ascot Racing Carnival Handicap. That will quickly roll around. October 12 is Crown Perth opening day, had headquarters. The race on Saturday, it was won by Lindsay Smith's No Saying It.
By more than a length on Missile Launch. It's a strung out field, almost 2 lengths to the grey Touch of Silver. On the fence behind them, then Giraffe and Mycroft saved up in front of Jatumi, double digit to the outside of those. Followed by Battle Talk, No Saying It, and then Friar-esque into the home straight. Missile Launch ranges up to tackle Abdicator. They're a length and a half to Touch of Silver, double digit running on. Mycroft battling away behind them. No Saying It coming down the outside as the big fellow Missile Launch surges to the lead at the 100. Missile Launch over Abdicator, double digit, and his No Saying It. No Saying It gathered them up, reached the lead. No Saying It draws away, beat double digit.
No Saying It is racing better than it has for probably around 2 years, according to Punting Form. Makes the file, but we'll start at the top with Abdicator. Finished 5th, willing to forgive this horse, was second up off a personal best of -0.8. And if you go back through his form, it's not the first time that he struggled to back up a very good rating. So Abdicator might need a little bit of a freshen. Forgetting Giraffe seems to absolutely hate Belmont Park. Slowest sectionals. He is totally unbackable until we get back to Ascot Racecourse in the spring. And clearly going to follow No Saying It out of this race. Fastest sectionals, new 2-year personal best by nearly half a length, and the career best was back in June 2017. That was -5.7 on Saturday. It was -5.1. This horse is flying just like everything else that Lindsay Smith is sending out, not only in WA, but Victoria as well. Race number 8 at Belmont on Saturday was the Mark Shreve 50th birthday handicap. It looked like a cracker of a race on paper, and it was won with a cracker of a performance.
Make mine Champers. This probably is set up for some of the backmarkers if good enough to get home. Maserati's back there, Time to Hunt, Ravelli, and then Sovereign Trade upwards. Others around the corner as they'd straightened at the 400. Bow Count, Fair Scenari have come together. Snow Chino pops out though to join them quickly, and so does the Fugazi. About 2 lengths, Butley Lad, Bold Success, followed by Tonka Tough. Further back, Witness in court. Snow Chino's got the better of the Fugazi. Bow Count fights back. Snow Chino with 100 to go. A length and a half on the inside. Battling back, Bow Count. Bold Success, the Fugazi. Snow Chino much too good. Snow Chino beat Bow Count.
I think the world and his wife had this pegged as a 2-horse race between Snow Chino and the Fugazi. It was Snow Chino who got the business done on Saturday. A really nice mare. She's now made it 2 personal bets in a row in winning, and a very, very good performance. She was well found in the market at $3.30. I think the fact that she's won 2 in a row means that she doesn't make the file as a follow horse. Those that make the file are the Fugazza. I think he's the forgive out the race. He was only 1 length off his personal best, in spite of 1600 appearing to be a little bit too far for him. He's had a few goes at it now. I know he had excuses in the WA Guineas when he drew the car park, but he's probably better suited over shorter than the mile. I'm forgetting Make Mine Champers only like slowly run races, and the same goes for Fair Sonari. Very interesting comments from Fred Kersley in the Stewards report about the fact that they went too quick for Make Mine Champers. They didn't go overly quick, certainly not for her anyway. She was benchmarked to the 600. And on following Bold Success, was wide throughout, fastest from the 10 to the 12 to the 10 rather, came home with the 3rd fastest last 200. Clearly its best run for Jim Taylor, having picked it up from Peter's Investments not that long ago. Race number 9 at Belmont on Saturday was the final race on the card. It was the Crown Perth Handicap, and it was won by Blackwood River.
Orders to Harry Thomas, which is out 3 deep off its heels. About a length away then in the middle, but improving Beauty Canis, and then the grey Distant Trilogy down on the inside, coming into the bend. A length and a half to Vermont Lady. King of Judah on the Terps, well back, and so's out of detention. Into the home straight, Blackwood River quickly ranged alongside of Recharger and stormed past him. 2 in front of Bushfire Blonde, Distant Trilogy. Harry Thomas and Beauty Canis are running on. He draws the whip on the leader, Blackwood River from Recharger. Beauty Canis is jumping out of the ground though. Beauty Canis comes at Blackwood River. Blackwood River, Beauty Canis fighting out the last of the day. A head bobbing go they went to it. Blackwood River might have kicked.
There was no William Pike for punters to latch onto in the last. Sean McGruddy was the winning jockey. He's been flying since the start of the new season, and he piloted Blackwood River to success in this 1 Metro win race, Graduation Handicap. I think Blackwood River probably has found its level and therefore doesn't make the file as a follow horse. Forgiving false statement, finished 15th, elevated heart rate after being pretty close to what was a reasonable speed. His personal best effort was the start before that. That was minus 5.6. Just failed to back it up and willing to forgive it totally. Forgetting on the Terps, David Harrison now cannot use a claimer for this horse. Patrick Carberry did ride it on Saturday and he really struggled to contain him, and therefore it's going to be really hard for On the Terps to win another race, I think, until his manners improve significantly. And the omen bet of the day was probably Kiora Star with the Kiwis in town for the Bledisloe Cup. Kiora, of course, is that welcome in Maori. Was first up, lugging bit the first time, fastest sectionals, including clearly the fastest late sectionals, finished 3rd. I think there's a win there for Kiora Start next start and Michael Lane. Having a look at the meeting in its totality, and really it was dominated by Snow Chino. Very good performance in winning that 1600 metre race with an overall figure of minus 6.3 and a class rating of minus 6.7. No knock on the horse. She's going to go up in weight and up in the ratings for the next start, and she has won 2 in a row, but she is racing fantastically well. Looking at the closing sectionals, Massimo, the debutant, the fastest last 200 metres, 11.72, and then an eye-catcher in Sammy the Boss, the last 400 and the 600. It's now time to take another break on the run of the race. We'll be back shortly with the tipping competition.
Arriving for a hot date on a moped. Disappointing. Arriving for a hot date on a horse? Fantastic! Life's better with horses. See you at the races.
Welcome back to the run of the race. It's now time to have a look at the tipping competition. We're up to round 12 in PR Tipstar 2019 Belmont Park, and it was certainly a moving day on Saturday. Let's have a look at the best possible score you could have got. It was over 2,750 points. You needed some really big price winners though. Blackwood River in the last, Spiritual Warrior $19.80 and $4.30 as well. And there was a big place price as well in the penultimate race. Bold Success paid $18.60 just to run in the top 3. Let's have a look at the winner. It's a familiar name as well. It's Lance Hines. He's won this competition now 3 times out of 44 meetings. That's a phenomenal effort. And look, he had a fair few winners on Saturday. He had Stevie's Wonder in the 1st, he had Shinju in the 4th, and critically, he had Spiritual Warrior in the 6th race with his big bet to score 1,581 points. Having a look at the overall standings now, 12 rounds in, so 7 rounds to go, and Glenn Montague still leads. However, he did lose his grip on the lead during the meeting on Saturday. He did get it back, however, when Blackwood River won the last. He had his big bet on that horse, and it made a significant difference. He leads by over 500 points. I know he's very nervous about how he's going in this competition. He's got a fair bit of money in the bank already, being a very prominent accountant, but of course everybody always needs a little bit more than they've got. Next round, of course, is on Saturday, which is Belmont Newmarket Day. Let's have a look at the last 3 editions of this race, including last year's win by Super Maxi.
And then Rock Magic, but first among equals. He's a very classy horse. He races to the front. Rock Magic tries to come back, but first among equals draws clear. And first among equals wins it nicely from Rock Magic. Photo third.
Trying to run them down with Just Magical. It's it, Battle Hero. Prophet Street coming. Prophet Street, Battle Hero. Meteoroid getting through in the middle. Prophet Street's on the outside. Meteoroid in the middle kicks. Meteoroid is weaving clear, but Super Maxi is still in front with 100 metres left to go. From Yerdadi, Rebel King and Prophet Street. Super Maxi in front. Yerdadi comes late, but Super Maxi all the way. Super Maxi has won the Newmarket by
Super Maxi winning last year's Belmont Newmarket. I'm sure the Ganjimi boys will be strong-handed in this Saturday's race, with Lockroy coming out of the new season sprint a couple of weeks ago, looking for that all-important first listed victory for that galloper. That wraps up the run of the race for this week. Brittany Taylor will be back to join me next week. Until then, bye for now.
He makes her bid.